Hey everyone, okay, so today I'm actually going to be talking about the fostering that happened when I was very, very young, 18 months old, because a lot of people have been asking about it and my feelings on it and all that kind of stuff. So, there's absolutely nothing to hide or really very much to tell about the whole sort of fostering thing. I was fostered when I was 18 months old. There are lots of kind of reasons behind that. And while I won't go into anything really specific, the main reason was that my parents, or my mother in particular, just found it very hard to cope with me when I was very young, and she was very, very young also. And I was fostered to her brother and his wife, so that would be my uncle and aunt whom I was fostered to. And whenever I refer to my mum and dad, I'm always talking about the people that brought me up. I absolutely, I know who my real parents are. We text from time to time. I haven't seen them in a long, long, long time. We were going to meet up recently, but things didn't really work out for a variety of reasons. And I've got four brothers. I was always told that I was, and I'm the oldest, I was always told that I was fostered right from the word go. It wouldn't have really been, to lie about it would have been a big mistake, because if you see all my brothers, and some of them are on Facebook and I'm linked to them, it's not like we don't look alike. You can tell that we are family. So I would have absolutely known. I would have only had to go and bump into them to realize that something was very up, because my hair looks quite dark at the moment, but it's just the lighting. It's not, you see me in real life, it's quite light. We've all got very light eyes, light hair. And we all look quite alike. I look very, very similar, I think, to my real father. He's just a bigger version of me now, and I think he's probably about 50 or so. Actually, he's probably older than 50. He'd have to be older than 50, because that would mean he was like 15 when he had me, and he was not. So yeah, he's in his 50s. There's no animosity or anything between any of us, at least not on my side, and I believe not on theirs. I haven't got a relationship with them in terms of that we see them often, and I don't have a relationship with my brothers. But not because of any animosity, just because it's just the way it kind of panned out. It's very odd, because I believe that my mum and dad, the ones I call my mum and dad, were going to adopt me, and I think for whatever reason that didn't happen, or my real parents kind of said they didn't want that to happen. And it's kind of awkward now. It's awkward for me now, because my mum, the one who brought me up my entire life, is not recognised by the law as my mother. And that's very upsetting for me. And in the UK, over the age of 18, you're not allowed to be adopted. You can't be adopted. And that's very, very upsetting for me, because I would like to be adopted by my mum, because I love her and she is my mother. She's whom I would refer to as my mother. And it hurts me that the law is not able to help me in this situation that I'm in, because I wasn't aware of any of this until very, very recently, that we were given my mother was given a temporary guardianship over me, which means she could sign for all doctors and things like that. But that expires at 18, and I really didn't know anything about this until recently. And when I was looking into the procedures for becoming adopted at my age, it just came to a complete stop, because it was very apparent that this could not happen. And so if there is anybody out there from the UK that knows the law and knows how I can go about legally declaring the person that brought me up as my mother, then I would love the information on that. It's not a dismissal of my real family. It's just that I believe that the law and the country should recognise that this is my mother. Legally, this is my mother. And it's important for me, because she's a wonderful person and I love her immensely. I know I drive her mental, but I love her immensely, and she's a wonderful person. So if anybody knows any information on that, that'd be great. Going through it all, when you grow up, you're fostered and you grow up, you don't know any different. It's never been a big issue with me. It's never been a problem. It's never been an upsetting account. My real family are very nice. Just circumstances arose that, things that happen as you're growing up, and people can't cope, or people have difficulties. And people have had comments, did they want to get you back? Did they try and get you back? They absolutely did. There's no doubt about that. They did fight to bring me back into their control. But I had been with my mum and dad at that point, my foster family, for a few years, and I was settled and I was happy. And to bring me back into that situation with them would have upset me, because I would have had to get used to a whole new family again. And it was the best thing, because they couldn't have children, whereas obviously my real parents could, and they continued to have 4 more children. And I think the youngest is 21 and I'm 35. So you know, they had another family, and it's great, and they're lovely people. But there's no real backstory to any of it. It's just I think it's more a case of events and things happen that you can't really control. And there's no point being, you know, feel like you're hard done by or anything, because my mother was a wonderful person, and is a wonderful person, and continues to love me, and I continue to view her as my mother, as which she is. So that's the story. And if anybody does have any information, as I said, about the process in the UK, because I have got no idea. Somebody told me I need to become emancipated. I really have no idea how I go about this, but for me it's important, because I just want I want the law to represent that this is my mother, this is whom my mother is, and that would make me happy. So any information would be most greatly received. Okay, thanks so much for your time. Thank you. Bye-bye.